What are your most idiotic predictions for the 2020s? The West will be shook by the Tokyo 2020 Olympic mascot being a little too anime. Short shorts so high they go inverted and become jean jackets. Lots of optometrists will use 2020 vision as their slogan. A huge comeback of emo culture. The 22nd of February 2022 falls on a Tuesday. People will be wearing tutus. Everything 90s melodramatic is coming back. Angsty lyrics, grunge, oversized flannel, frosted tips, overalls, fanny packs, hoop earrings, chokers, high-waisted acid-wash jeans. C. Lo-fi hip-hop, sad boy culture, modern thrift fashion. Edit. I agree, most of this is already back as of late 2018/2019, and much like other eras, the decade started a couple years before the big era. i.e. 80s pop culture started in 78/79 and 90s pop culture started in 88/89. Edit. Read the first edit. I know they're here. I said coming back as in, it has already been popping up. I wouldn't have made the prediction otherwise, lol. Skate 4. George R.R. Martin will release The Winds of Winter. The 29th of October, 2029, the stock market will crash again. Terry Crews elected president, thereby fulfilling the idiocracy prophecy, just sooner than anyone expected. That 2020 is gonna be the greatest year of my life. Practical hoverboards are released only 4 years later than Back to the Future predicted. Half-Life 3 at E3. After being really low-cut, and now really high-waisted, women's jeans will settle in a neutral position. 2 words. Mecha. Hitler. We'll all start using our blinkers. We all get 20/20 vision. Renewable energy and environmentalism. The debate of climate change will persist into the 2020s, however the push for renewable energy will be stronger than ever. Solar power will become more common and the 2020s will be remembered as the decade where we began to enter the solar age. Green design and sustainable cities will be the future of architecture. I will get a girlfriend. Both members of IKE run for president. I predict a rockstar will marry a supermodel. Kim Kardashian will get Can I Offer murder charge as his lawyer. Everything will be just fine. World peace will be achieved. The Gen Z will start a revolution and we will have the roaring 20s too. Electric Boogaloo. Time travel will be made available to the public in 2028. Avatar 2 will be the first film to be released in virtual reality cinemas. By the end of the decade there will be a moon colony on the moon. A new trend in 2026 will be people walking around with socks covering their ears. Smart shows where you can access apps on your shoes will be released in 2026. Someone on planet Earth will finally eat their own head. The 2024 election will be Ivanka versus Michelle. Trump will get re-elected, didn't see that one coming 4 years ago. In the words of G.W. Bush, there's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again. There will be a new holiday for all those who died trying to storm Area 51. Somalia becomes a world superpower. Linguists create a new language, English, simplified, to replace English, traditional. Heelys are a socially acceptable form of transportation. With this many 70-year-olds in play and running, I could see one of the party's nominees securing the candidacy and then dying or becoming medically incapacitated and setting up what would be a huge constitutional crisis with a mixed breakup of the legislative branch. That would be one hell of a circus. I will make a friend. That Valve will make a new game. A legit war is started that began on social media. Kim Kardashian will run for and win elected office. Trump 2, Electric Boogaloo. I predict that society will crumble and we will all die. I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does then at least I get to say I called it. Suicide rates will drop. Aliens actually land in the United States. Having studied American cinema, the first thing they say is take us to your leader. There's an uncomfortable pause followed by a long-winded description of the state of Earth's politics. Long story short, the aliens have to suddenly leave. They left the Flognaxon at home, but they'll totally call us soon. They promise. Skate 4 finally comes out. The Democrats will push Biden super hard and people will be told you have to vote for him or else the world is going to end. The progressives will push back and the Democrats won't learn anything for 2016. Trump will win by default and democracy as we know it will probably decline into an irreparable state. Around 2010 I saw a documentary which stated that the magnetic field of the Earth would have moved so much by 2020 that you could see the northern lights in Germany. Don't know if that is BS or if I should be excited. Idiocracy is officially reclassified as a documentary. Jesus comes back and starts making statements about the Bible, is immediately detained for hate speech and put in a mental hospital for thinking he is Jesus Christ. Apparently in 2024 NASA will have people living in the moon, but with how things have been going recently, I honestly doubt it. I mean, they're looking for aliens and searching for planets with water and oxygen there and thinking about how aliens could almost definitely have a different biology than us. There will be a moon base by the end of 2030. Edit, before 2030 like in the 2020s as the question asked. Warren wins, but Trump gets the snitch. The return of the emos. The Great Gatsby era will return. Pineapples go extinct and it's because of polar bears. They have all been warned. That annoying Democratic lady with the crystals and anti-vaccine history is going to do infuriatingly well. Hollywood will start nailing successful remakes of popular movies and usher in an era of great remakes. Toy Story 5. Video games become so advanced that it becomes a fad to go back to 90s style games. They will legalize cannabis worldwide in April 2020. Low-cut jeans may be back by then. Shudder. Someone competent will be president of the United States. Please? I'll get love and affection from somebody. We hit an ice age that we're due for. Everyone celebrates as global temperatures no longer increase, all clean energy projects cancelled, and we celebrate by burning huge piles of coal. However, we forgot that the increasing partial pressure of carbon dioxide causes a fascinating equilibrium situation where the world's supply of water becomes carbonic acid, causing the pH of the oceans to drop, a doom for us all. Don't ask me, I don't have 2020 vision. A conflict between Korea and Japan followed by the creation of J-pop. That they'll find the hooker buried in my backyard. Godzilla will show up at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. As soon as the clock strikes 12 AM the 1st of January 2020, everything becomes like the 1920s. The US government will admit that 9/11 was an inside job. Anime will take over the world. Trump will accidentally leak his nudes and we'll all find out that he's hung like a horse. Queen Elizabeth will die. Music is going to become more based on one-hit type songs, and the popularity of the songs will be determined by memes and reaction videos created from them. It won't be necessarily for the quality of the song, sadly. It will be how catchy it is and how many people will react to it. We will land a man on the surface of the sun. Danny DeVito will become president, and then king, bringing communism to the US, and giving monthly rations of eggs in the trying times. What's funny is that if you asked this question in 2015, a prediction like, Donald Trump will win the election sounded idiotic and impossible to occur. Browns Super Bowl. Kanye West elected president. Andrew Yang doesn't become POTUS. Trump gets re-elected. And it could happen too. Democrats have to get their spit together. Trump wins re-election. By 2028, the corporations will almost have fully control. Some having a monopoly over multiple industries. Almost all independent businesses are gone, and the few that are still there are failing. The police force is one crime wave away from being militarized in major cities as gun violence only proceeds to get worse and street gangs become more of a problem due to increased poverty rates. The war with Iran rages on into its 7th year as the number of civilian casualties increases while the government is forced to do more drafts. The environment gets worse to the point that our predicted extinction year goes from 2050 to 2042 and another species seems to go extinct almost every month. Not a prediction, but I think single-use plastics should be outlawed. And quickly. Except for in the medical dental science fields. According to a lot of sci-fi movies, books, general stories, 2024 will be a bad year. Everyone dies. In the second half the decade, someone will invent a device that will allow us to communicate with animals. Although everyone will be amazed by the device, we will find that it yields little more than one-sided conversations. We will destroy the devices, forget they ever existed, and go back to making up conversations between ourselves and our pets. Free eye care for the US, but it'll be announced Oprah style. Raid on Area 51-2. In mid-2029 someone makes a "What are your most idiotic predictions for the 2030s?" thread on AskReddit. I will be happy. Obama's gay, Islamic army of atheists finally come door to door to take our guns. Trump wins a second and a huge scandal erupts when it's found out that he and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez were getting freaky in Lincoln's bedroom. Donald Trump loses re-election but refuses to leave office. Congress and the Supreme Court are like, okay, whatever. Trump chokes on a Big Mac in 2022 while rage tweeting about Hillary Clinton at 1 a.m. in the morning and dies. Mike Pence takes over and blames Donald's death on the immorality of women that show their ankles and bare shoulders, and declares a national emergency in order to implement laws that restricts clothing choices of women and makes it unlawful for a woman to be present in public without a male guardian. Flying cars and gas mining in the clouds like Fudging Lando. Persona 5 Royal will come to Switch. I want it to, so it won't. Kanye West will succeed in running for president. Jazz is going to have a renaissance, the economy's going to take a nosedive, fascist movements around the world are going to gain more traction, and pole sitting will make a brief comeback, with several people breaking bones in the name of pole sitting challenge. Basically, the 1920s, but this time we can make memes about the pieces of the next world war falling into place as it happens. The next US president wears top hats all the time, making top hats what everyone's wearing. Somebody will love me. Old-fashioned vintage architecture and fashion. Or at least I wish that is the case. There will be no more presidents other than Jeff Goldblum announcing himself supreme ruler about 4 months after Light Down sketches blow up. Disney will only release original movies. The world does a complete 180 and everything is fine. That a meme today survives. The next president, whoever it is, will be looked at as even worse. Trump may or may not be the president again. Trump will get re-elected in 2020 and there's going to be a huge revolt bigger than 2016. Self-driving cars will unionize. The booming 20s. Having good eyesight is all the rage. I'm gonna get a GF. An Australian Prime Minister will serve a full term. There will be some stupid fudging challenge or game that all the 10-year-olds will do. Brexit will be over by then. I think I will get a job. People won't get offended by this comment. I'll be happy for once. NASA will actually have their moon base on time without any unforeseen delays. Putin is president for another decade. People will be so offended by genders that all genders will be eliminated and people will be called it rather than he or she. The White House will get a functioning adult. Who am I kidding? That's a little too far-fetched. I'll finally get out of the UK. That Starbucks will finally spell my name right. I'll be happy. Trump doesn't get assassinated and Kim Jong-un and him forces and take on the world. Wait, that isn't quite idiotic. World peace is achieved by mankind. The end result is the worst debut ever by a Kickstarter campaign at the box office. Real cat girls boys. Now that I think about it, that might not be too far off. Marriage rates will drop to 1 per 1,000 by the end of the decade. https://www.statista.com/marriage-rate-in-since-1990/ that the 6 people who actually show up and attempt to storm Area 51 actually somehow manage to find something and not just prove that being stupid is contagious. Too terrifying and disastrous for the country and the planet to dare risk speaking them into existence. Trump getting re-elected. Me actually passing high school. Can I 2020? I don't know. I don't have 2020 vision. A 12-hour purge is made legal in NY and in LA only, to start that is.